couple of times and then let go, her body wobbling a little at the sudden stop in motion. She moves about the center of the circle, obviously on the search for the colonel. After a moment, she manages to stumble on the edge of her dress. Alright, choices. Help her up and point in the direction of Foxley. Do nothing. Or, he's to your left. What do you think? I almost want to let her. Oh, excuse me. 1. Of course, I'm leaning towards 1 or 3. Who cares about 2? Hey, Kiki! How you doing? Hi, Late Racer! Wearing a blindfold, so I don't think pointing will help. Well, none of the options actually technically say pointing. They say help her up and point her in the direction of Foxley. So I'm guessing gonna help her up and then turn her basically in the direction. Guessing that's what that means. So we got 2 votes for 1. Anybody else? That's what I was thinking, Kat. One. Doing good, Kiggy. Doing good. How are you doing? I just asked how you were doing. Norgal, you actually picked 2? You don't want her to do nothing? Alright, so we've got 3 votes for 1 and 1 vote for 2. We're gonna go with 1. The 1's win it. As she trips, I rush forward and grip her shoulders to steady her. In doing so, I also turn her around and lean close to her. He's right in front of you. She gives a small nod and sets off in a straight line. Take my seat, few seeming to notice my intervention. Foxley gives a wide grin as Arabella comes to stand before him, her hands reaching out and touching his chest to ensure she'd found someone. Very true, Kiki, very true. Obstreperous? I suppose so. I suppose so, Cat. She touches his chest. It seems I found a target.
Indeed you have.
He tries to mask his voice with a small rasp, though can't hide the delight in his tone. You are male?
Yes.
There's a small chuckle around the room at the obvious answer. Did you arrive here with someone this evening?
I did.
And were you pleased to arrive with that person?
Most wholeheartedly.
Do you think you will continue to attend events with such a person for the season?
I would go wherever she would lead me for the rest of my life if she wished it.
Wow. Suddenness of his declaration is enough to make my jaw slacken. It seemed to hit Arabella hard enough to make her quite still and very silent for the longest of moments. Seems a lifetime before she finally stutters a response. Oh, you must be Colonel Foxley. You can see her swallow hard as she tears the blindfold away.
How well you know me already, Arabella.
The delight squeak. Their gazes meet, the two seeming to have a silent exchange amongst the awkward applauding from the rest of the room for her correct guessing. Her shock finally breaks into a smile, and the colonel lets out a visible sigh. As she opens her mouth to speak, a young man hurries forward and snatches the blindfold from her hand.
So who's next? Oh!
Foxy suddenly stands from his place and steps forward.
That would be my friend here.
He turns half his body back to gesture at Blake, whose eyes go wide.
Foxley, no!
The colonel yanks him into the center of the circle, ignoring his protests. The material is tight about his face, though I can still see his expression as it one of a willing participant. Foxley spins him about 2 times and then pulls him to a stop. What is life but a figment of our imagination? Can never be achieved due to our immaturity. Long story short, we argue and kill off of a color.
Yeah, have you seen the news?
Wow.
Kiki's getting deep today.
Foxley spins him about 2 times and then pulls him to a stop. Colonel whispers something in Blake's ear and then twists him suddenly in my direction. With a small smile, Blake begins stepping unsteadily towards me. He shuffles forward, stopping instantly the moment his legs touch mine.
Thanks for the announcement, Nurgle.
Indeed, but that's nothing new. Okay. Rabbit claps for Nurgle. True. History just be repeating itself. The context sends a shiver coursing through me, though I do my best not to let it show on my face.
You are female.
He asked the question with so much uncertainty I almost laughed. I am. I deepen my voice a little, but he obviously still recognizes it's me, as a wide smile spreads on his face at my response. Like Racer. Why are we talking about poop?
Do you enjoy dancing?
Choices, people! Choices, people! Only with the right partner. So much so I have an agreement to dance with a certain person at every engagement, or yes I do. I'm already seeing the choices here are gonna go for 2. You're gonna go that way? Really? Okay. One, two, 2 ones. Hey, baby girl. My kitty is under my desk. If you guys are wondering. I'm sure one main reason we all play games is to get away from our reality, to put our imagination into our reality. True. Very true. Yeah, that should have been our imagination. That's okay. Alright, so it looks like... Really? The ones are winning it? Nurgle? Kiki? What do you guys think? If you have a suggestion. Sorry, guys. They're taking their dog over there. I know I have executive decision. I got both cats over here bugging me. I'm gonna go with 2 because I really like that option. I enjoy it so much so, in fact, that I have an agreement to dance with a certain person at every engagement. And this certain person is a partner you would care to have for future engagements? Most certainly. Steps a little closer, my heart speeding as he does so. And do you have eyes the color of the most beautiful of green meadows? Question makes me start, the words so unexpected from the normally guarded captain that it takes me a moment to realize he spoke them. Before I can answer, he continues. Do you have hair that gleams like the finest satin in the sun? Sudden, heavy, tense quiet falls over the room, and I don't have to look to know there's a wide, excited smile on Arabella's face beside me, of course. And do you, the most sweet of natures, enough to charm even the sternest of hearts? No. What's going on with you today, Kiki? Something happened to spark that? There's such depth to his words that I can barely breathe beneath them. It's not until a nudge from Arabella that I finally manage to speak. I have not been told such before, no. Oh, jeez. Do you wish to be with someone who would tell you such every day? Before I can reply, he straightens himself and adopts his stern expression once more. Are you Miss Uppercut? Yes. I barely squeak out the reply, this answer being one I can actually give. He pulls away the blindfold and gazes down at me. Any breath I manage to gasp, becoming even more strained. Oompa Loompa isn't going away. He's an Oompa Loompa now? The young man from before takes the material, though Blake hardly seems to notice. If you'd be so kind as to take your seat, Captain. Blake continues to gaze at me for a moment before ripping his focus away and giving a nod. He's orange. He heads back to his seat, leaving me in such a daze I can hardly string together a coherent thought. And out next... Give me that boy. Familiar sharp tone cuts through my reverie, and I snap my gaze up to see Lord Huntington snatch the blindfold from the boy's grasp. You're watching Cops Die on National TV. Speak before the 2 black men all caught on cell phones all in one day. Wow. You voted for that Oompa Loompa. The Oompa Loompa with bad hair. Bands racer and all chats forever. Huntington ties the blindfold sloppily around his own face. Obvious to everyone that he can see through it. No one mentions it. He doesn't spin on the spot, instead striding off straight away. Freeze for a minute as he moves my way. But an even stronger tension overtakes me when he wheels round and comes to face Blake. Uh-oh. What is he planning? Are you male? Yes. Do you wear a uniform? Yes. Do you deserve that uniform? Wow. hard to do that when you're streaming. I don't generally